the simple media layer. I'm not sure if Valve developed it or if it was developed and then Valve had used it in like one of their games or something. Um, I don't know too much about it. I was looking at game engines, and there's 3D game engines and like 2D game engines. I mean, Unity, I think has demos on it, so they obviously have code where you can make a 2D game out of it. Like that's easy, I guess, for them. Probably Unreal Engine probably is the same thing. But yeah, I was looking at this one because it has a zlib license, which basically it's just acknowledge. I think it's just acknowledgement. You just acknowledge them basically. The software is provided as is without any express implied warranty. In no event will the author be held liable for any damages arise from the software. Permission is granted to anyone to use the software for any purpose, including commercial applications, and you can alter it and redistribute it freely, subject to the following restrictions. And so these are the rules you got to follow. The origin of the software must not be misrepresented. You must not claim that you wrote the original software. If you use the software in a product, an acknowledgement in the product documentation is appreciated. Not required. Altered source code or source versions must be plainly marked as such and must not be represented. This notice must not be removed or altered in any of the source distribution. So I'm not really sure how you're supposed to distribute stuff for whatever. Distributing source code, I'm not opposed to it, to be honest. I just had situations where I would write a lot of code and then I would release it as open source and then someone would steal it and then turn around and start selling the compiled version of it. That stuff is scary. So I think licenses are important. But if you look at the Unreal Engine and stuff like that, they have like really harsh restrictions on stuff, I think, on royalties specifically. So I just wanted to do something where it didn't have many restrictions. So basically it's just an acknowledgement. You just include this, and then you just acknowledge them for that. And it's not, some licenses are kind of bad in a way. I think the MIT one or something like that is bad because it deems as soon as you touch that source code, anything that you involve it in has to become open source. That one is, I like that idea of keeping everything open, but I mean, be real. I mean, it is nice to, you're spending probably months, if not a year, learning in your spare time. It would be nice to make $1 off of it, like just make $1 off of it. So, I think open source stuff should come after the lifespan of a product. The lifespan of the product, I mean, that's arbitrary. You could say the life of the product is a month or a week or years. So it's hard to kind of define what the life of a product is. But I think if right now I'm not opposed to open source stuff because if I'm making something out of STL, it is literally me just copying and pasting other people's stuff so I can learn it for now until I can come up with something that I find that it works well. In which case it's probably going to be, again, just built off examples of previous work that people have done. So I'm not opposed to releasing source, but if I make something really cool, I actually would love to release it on Steam, even if it was for free or something like that. But yeah, making even if I charging $1 for it or something that I felt was good, I would do. But eventually, I would probably release the source on it. I think is how I feel about that. Anywho's, STL comes with this release down here. So it comes. I'm not a big coder. They pretty much self-taught entirely. I feel like I am self-taught, but I got a lot of help from people that are on like websites and forums, and websites are pretty much dead. Now it's social media, and it might be harder to find people that are willing to help. But yeah, I'd ask them questions and stuff like that, and so I got help that way. And of course, all the material that's on the internet. I mean, you're not really self-taught, but I mean, I didn't go to school for it, so yeah. Anyway, so this stuff is new to me. I don't know too much about it. So we have the source code, right? And we have the runtime or runtime binaries, and then we have the development libraries. So none of this makes any lick of sense to me. Like what the heck are the development libraries? Like you'd have to know what you're doing to start off with this thing. So if you don't really know much about it, I guess you can just download these. These are the binaries, and it's a DLL file. I guess it stands for Dynamic Linking Library. You literally just drop it in the folder, and your application will just read it, right? And so for the longest time, I picked up a book years ago, and it said to download this thing, Ming GW. I'm not really sure what that stands for, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that it's probably an acronym or something. I don't know. Min GW. But that was in the book that I picked up from like 10 years ago when I was trying to learn C++ programming. And my basic understanding of it is it's just a minimal installation of Windows, or I guess the Windows libraries, which are not tied to the operating system. So this way I understood that. So we have the VC, which is I believe stands for Visual C, or Visual Studios or something. And that's going to be using your Microsoft Development Kit, your SDK, which I think is already installed on each Windows, I think. And then you get the Ming GW, which is it's not the SDK for Windows. It's some sort of other implementation, which replaces the SDK. I think it's more open source. I'm not too sure. And of course, you would have your libraries for other platforms: Mac OS, Linux, and iOS. I don't use these. I never use them, so I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to get into Linux, which would be interesting. But I noticed that they don't actually have the distribution here, which is interesting. I don't even know what developmental libraries mean anyway, so. So I think I downloaded the source code. Again, I'm not really sure what the developmental libraries are or how they differ from the source code, but I think they're both compilable, is what I remember. So I try to compile this, and the idea is that you compile it and you don't need the DLLs, and so it's just to cut to the chase. I have no idea how to do that. It's pretty bad. It would have been nice if I knew what I was doing. For sure. So let's see if I can find my project folder. Alright, so this is the project folder that I come up with. Right now, I'm not doing much with it. I am just copying and pasting samples that other people have done into this thing, and just trying to hope that it kind of works for what I need, I guess. I find where is this other folder that I need, or not website, I mean, not folder. Okay, so this guy's lazy. Oh, wait, how do you spell lazy? There we go. I think I found it. Okay. So this thing is recited everywhere. It's this guy's tutorial. I guess his name is Lazy Foo. I don't know. I think Foo is some sort of programming thing. I don't really know. So it's probably some sort of gimmick. But anyway, it goes through a bunch of examples, and I wanted to try and see if I get them to work on my compiled version of the thing. So over here, I have a debug version, so I can see some errors. So this is it's pretty large. It's 20 megabytes. Probably because I had no idea what I was doing, and I compiled a bunch of libraries that I didn't need. But so far it works. It uses. Why is it doing that? What the fudge? It's just the window's growing exponentially. That's jokes. Is that a problem I'm having? What the? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. That's really interesting. I got no idea. Just close that. I don't know if that's because I compiled it wrong or not. I don't know. I'll have to check it later. I'll have to compile a clean version with the DLL files and see if there's a difference. So this is compiled all inside of the executable, so there's no DLL files. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. You think you would just say, oh, here, just pack the DLLs inside, and I guess that's not a thing. You actually have to compile the code differently, and that means you have to like have the source code available to pack it inside. Um, but with this thing, there was so many damn dependencies. I was about to just damn lose my mind. Um, yeah, I have a folder here called libraries. All these libraries, I had to compile them because I needed them to go inside of SDL. So a dependency is basically code from somewhere else. They didn't write it, and they just included the code inside of their own. So I actually need to go through each one of these libraries and just double check their licenses because I'm not sure if it conflicts with the zlib license or not, because that would be a problem if it does. But yeah, I'll have to check out all these libraries. So these libraries are packed inside, and I honestly do not know what I'm doing, so I want to test some more code out to make sure that this is working. Pretty good. So yeah. So I just went down through here and it was going pretty good. So you can, well, you can't do much. They have, where's this website? SDL2. Let's go here. See if I can find the web page here. This is it. Okay, so stable version. I don't know what the heck a MARQL is. Okay, that's not what I was thinking. Bindings. Library has bindings to different languages. I did not know that. Wow, you can put it like into anything. That's insane. Okay, there's not a lot going on here. SDL is a cross-platform development library designed to provide low-level access to audio, keyboard, mouse, joystick, graphics via OpenGL, and 3D DirectX 3D is used by video playback software, emulators, and popular games, including Valve's award-winning catalog and many Humble Bundle games. Okay, so it's not affiliated with Valve at all. The thing they don't tell you is you can't deal with audio or text or images for that matter unless you install the add-ons, which is what all this crap is. So if I guess you wanted to have all this stuff, you would have like 20 DLLs in the folder with your executable. So it's a little bit stupid. I want to have it compiled in the executable to not have a bazillion DLLs. The other thing that would be cool is you can actually put this inside of Windows form, kind of like how Gnosis works. I don't know what Gnosis uses, probably like the DirectX library, but you can have a viewport in your program, and I think that would be cool. I don't have a need for it. I would just probably use 3ds Max or Blender, but that would just be cool if I could kind of see how that would work. I think licensing, bindings, releases. Wow, where the heck is the add-ons? They don't even, okay, older versions are available here on the releases. Wow, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Doesn't even tell you where the add-ons are. There's definitely add-ons. So because I wasn't able to load like anything, so yeah. Let me Google it. SDL2 image. I don't understand why this is. Oh, it's under projects or something. Um, projects. Wow, there's not even a web page for it. That's ridiculous. Whoa, that's nuts. Okay, so these are the different add-ons. I'm not really sure why there's no web page link to it. Seems kind of busted, doesn't it? But if you want to do images, you gotta compile this thing, and this thing has a bunch of dependencies. Like it shows a few here as dependencies on JPEG, PNG, TIFF, web, uh, and stuff I've never even heard of before. It was a pain in the ass. They show a couple here, all over the place. The only thing that really saved my ass was there's a thing called CMake. Again, I don't know much about compiling and all that shit, but there's a thing called CMake, and CMake will configure your project files or the source code into a project file. So I use that to make VC files, which is not video, Microsoft Visual Studios files, but it wasn't compatible with Ming GW, and that's what I wanted to use. So I actually had to compile them a different way, and I had a horrible time with that. That was pretty lame. So what I want to do is, I guess I want to see if I can find a test for the mixer, because obviously the text is displaying, so I got that working. The image is obviously working if the text is working, so that's working. That's great. That's such a bare minimum thing, and SEL doesn't even have it. Those are the add-ons though. Reviews your sequence of sprites. Oh, I gotta go in 10 minutes. This sucks. Here we'll be using texture rotation. Nah, that's not what I want. Force feedback. Rumble support and haptics. That's controller stuff. Here we go. The mixer. That's what I wanna I wanna test. Press 1, 2, 3, or 4 to play a sound effect. Press 9 to play or pause the music. Sounds pretty interesting. So it utilizes the mixer. So I'll have to build the mixer, which is pretty lame. By the way, this is the most annoying thing I ever built. This took me a whole day to build this thing called Harf Buzz. I don't even know what the hell it does. It's the most annoying thing I ever had to build. It's super stupid. Let's find the mixer. Okay, so here's my folder here, and there's the mixer. Okay, so let's see. Do I have a CMake file? No. So a lot of it's like that where I don't have a CMake file. So that totally sucks. Yeah, it totally does. So let's just go for it. So they do give examples, not examples, but like project files. So this is one of the project files, which is a Visual C project file, which I can open up. I have the student version of Microsoft Visual Studios, but I don't use it. When I started learning with C++, I just picked up a book on C++, and it actually just did stuff through DOS. And it did advertise this. This was new at the time. This is I'm not sure if it's open source, but it's a free uh, uh, editor. You can edit stuff in it. Everybody else is using different stuff and newer stuff, so this is really old. So I imagine it's not the best, but it'll work for me. So yeah, we'll just go with that. So I'm just going to open up this SLN. It seems to import the project files okay, so yeah, and yeah, it imports it. And then this, I'm going to use the Ming GW compiler, basically. That's what that's going to be. So it looks like it has a bunch of other crap in here. I don't really need all this stuff here. I don't know what this is. It probably explains it in the documentation, but this is what I need to build, basically. So I'm gonna just save the project. There's a bunch of C files, a bunch of headers, and looks like some kind of version thing in there. We're gonna go to the options, and we want to check the linker settings. So these are the libraries that it needs, and then there's most of the time, where is it? There's some of these variables that are defined. So it looks like it's ooh, that's not good. Okay, so it's actually looking for libraries, but they're DLLs, so that's definitely not what I want. So this is gonna be a chore. So that means I need to find all these and see if I can compile them in the project. So this is where it gets that turns into a big pain in the ass because I have to now find these stupid things and compile them. So these are all dependencies that the mixer has, which I was worried about. So MPG is a video file format, I think. FLAC is another video. I think this is OGG, or maybe this is OGG. Mod plug. I don't really know what that is, but it says music mod plug. And so this is where it really sucks, is having to go through like every document and not being familiar with how these documents are laid out and just trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I really fucking hate this part. So you go through these things and it's just like kind of like why is this file here? Like it's like no fucking shit. Like this is SEO. I know, thank you. Please distribute this file with the STL runtime environment. So here it's saying that I need to include STL as a dependency. Uh, okay, where's the rest of the dependencies? Great. I guess we'll just go up and down here. What do we got here? So we got this. I don't even know what AutoGen is, but we'll have a look at it. Information. I don't see anything important. Bugs. Bugs are now managed on the tracker. Blah blah blah. I don't think this is important. It says uninstall. This, oh, it does have CMake. Oh, okay, so we could totally use CMake, and that will make things totally easier for sure. So run CMake, and I'll just set the directory. So we set the directory. This is not the right directory. Oh, I need to go inside this directory. I was in the wrong directory the whole time. Jeez. Oh, okay. Maybe it won't have. Okay, maybe the mixer doesn't have CMake. I was probably reading the wrong thing. We'll do code blocks with Ming GW. Yeah, it doesn't have CMake. CMake is really easy. You just open it up and then you just plug in all your other libraries, and then it makes your project file, and then you can just open your project file and then compile. But I was in the wrong folder, so it's the mixer here. I need to be reading this stuff. That's what I need to be reading. So this is the source files. This configure file I see all the time, but it contains a bunch of gibberish that I never really understand. Be more born compatible. What does that mean? I don't know. Not really sure what all this crap is talking about. I have no idea. No idea. Let's see what else we got here. This is another one. This one's a little more readable. Okay, Virgo settings. Macro version, interface, age, binary age. What else we got here? What I'm looking for is any compiler flags that I need to pass through this thing or something like that. So these are the C flags. I don't know. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me. Because what I want to do is I want to compile static um, libraries and not dynamic linking libraries. So I need to find the flag for that. So there's a bunch of flags everywhere. I don't see anything. Extra C flags. Okay, so this is. Okay, so I think this is what I need. I think. So I don't know what this thing is. Mic mod dynamic, and then it seems to express where the DLL is, right? And that's probably what I have in the options right now. Just under define. I don't know where that particular one is, but it's got this format. Oh, this is OGG, right? So there's a test here. So it says enable shared, and then it runs this, and it sets the compiler flag. So I don't know really what you're supposed to do with this configure file, but it's super duper important. So this tells me that I can probably just pass in this as a compiler flag, and well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I have to set this variable to false or something. I don't know. It's confusing. It's a lot of guesswork. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing. What's this thing? If we are cygwin or mingw, we're going to use meaty native, yes, and the flag this. If we're Darwin or Heiku, then we use these ones, so I'm not Heiku. So I think this is mostly already set for me here. I have these here. The only thing that I notice is I have to strip the end off of these, I think. So I just go around and just strip the name off here. It's looking for a lib, which is, I think that's native to like the Microsoft stuff. But for MingGW, you need an archive file, which is ends with a .a. So I usually just strip off the extension, and it will just. I gotta go. It's 5:30. Shit. Sucks. All right. Finish that up. These are different directories. I'll have to sit down and go through it, but this is how I compiled the image one and stuff like that. It's just going through all these freaking files and then looking for the C flags. Sometimes they were just in another file, just very plain and simple, and I was like, yes. And sometimes they're like in this really long script, and they're really hard to see or find them. It's really annoying. I don't think these are compiler flags. I don't think they are. This is like targeting basically. The config file must be the thing that I need to read. I'll have to sit down and like really go through it. Changes. That's nothing. README. The version of this library available in here due to popular demand. Here is a simple multi-channel auto mixer. Supports 8 channels of 16-bit audio, single channel of music. See the header. Examples are here. Warning: the license for libmad is GPL, which means that in order to use your application must also GPL. Oh, I thought it was MIT, so it's GPL, which is a problem. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I have to also sit down and look at all these licenses, because that's a serious thing. Yeah, GPL means basically you have to stay in the public domain if you use their code, and you get stuck. All your code gets stuck in the public domain. You can never use it for commercial application. I'll have to check what this is. Maybe this is for MP3 because I see this MP3. Honestly, I would just use FLAC or OGG. I mean, they're better compressions over MP3. So why would you use MP3 anyway? Oh shit! Unless libmad uses the rest of those, then that would be a big deal. That would be a big deal. Okay, I don't have time to, I guess, compile anything. I have to read all the documentations before I can even try to compile. If I try to compile it now, it'll just throw an error. It'll say this missing, that missing, this missing, that missing. And I have to find all these dependencies and add them. It's so freaking annoying. In some project files that I was building, yeah, there's an external folder. This super helps. And it shows all the dependencies. Okay, so yeah, this has all the dependencies. And I think I can just go in here and I compile them. I think. So I can just go in here and compile each one. So they actually include the source code. So actually this is not so bad. I thought I would have to go on Google and search up, where do I find the FLAC source code? And then you go for like hours looking for it. So this is actually not too bad. So all the source code is in here. I may just look it up anyway to see if there's a newer version of whatever this is, but I have to compile all of these, so that takes some time. So I'll do that later. I gotta go. All right, later.